Chapter 1. The Hidden Furnace of the Mind. Wealth. The word itself evokes images of freedom, power, and possibility. It can stir excitement or anxiety, longing or despair, depending on your history, your mindset, and the stories you tell yourself. Yet, what most people fail to realize is that true wealth is not first found in bank accounts, assets, or external success. True wealth begins in the mind. It begins in a place invisible, intangible, yet infinitely potent, your thoughts. Imagine a blacksmith's forge. Sparks fly, iron glows red hot, and the hammer strikes the metal again and again, shaping it with intention. That forge exists within you. Instead of metal, your raw material is thought. Instead of a finished sword or a piece of iron, the final product is wealth, opportunity, influence, and freedom. This is mental alchemy, the process of transforming ideas, beliefs, and imagination into tangible results. Your mind is a furnace, fueled by every belief, desire, fear, and hope you harbor. Some thoughts flicker briefly, then vanish like smoke. Others, nurtured and disciplined, burn brighter and longer, generating energy capable of shaping reality. The question is, which thoughts will you feed, and which will you allow to die in the cold? History provides countless examples. Every empire, every technological breakthrough, every creative masterpiece started as a single spark in someone's mind. Wealthy individuals and visionaries did not wait for luck or opportunity. They cultivated their inner fire. Wealth does not originate externally. It is magnetized from within. The external world simply mirrors the alignment of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Consider the story of Elias, a humble carpenter in a small town. By day, he shaped with care, yet his mind often wandered to dreams he feared to speak aloud. One night, staring at a flickering candle, he felt a spark. What if I could create something that lasts beyond me? That thought ignited a fire. Elias sketched designs late into the night, imagined clients traveling from distant cities, and envisioned his craft admired and valued. Initially, doubt and fear were overwhelming, yet he returned night after night to the forge of his mind, hammering each worry into resolve. Over time, the spark became a flame, and the flame manifested in reality. His modest workshop transformed into a destination. Orders increased, clients sought his designs, and wealth, tangible and intangible, followed. None of this was luck. Every element came from deliberate mental work. This is the essence of mental alchemy. Thought is raw material. Vision is the blueprint. Belief is the mold. Action is the hammer. Left unattended, thoughts are weak and scattered. When refined, disciplined, and aligned, they become unstoppable forces. Now pause. Close your eyes and visualize your own inner forge. Feel the heat. See the sparks. Smell the smoke. Every hope, dream, and idea is raw metal waiting to be shaped. Some of it may feel fragile, even overwhelming. But in your hands, guided by intention, it can become gold. The journey is not easy. It requires courage, discipline, and patience, but it is within reach. Your thoughts are not idle. They are seeds of transformation. And in the forge of your mind, you are the master alchemist. Ask yourself, will you step forward? Will you strike the hammer? Will you ignite your mind and begin the process of creating wealth from thought? Wealth does not wait for the timid. It responds to those who dare to shape it from the raw energy of their own minds, those who cultivate vision, courage, and discipline, those who treat thought as the most precious element of all. Chapter 2. The Philosopher's Stone of Vision. For centuries, alchemists sought a mythical substance. The Philosopher's Stone, a material capable of turning base metals into gold. They studied ancient texts, experimented in secret chambers, and mixed rare ingredients, hoping to discover the key to unimaginable wealth. Yet the true Philosopher's Stone was never a mineral or a potion. It has always existed within the mind. It is vision, the ability to see what does not yet exist and to act as though it already does. Vision is more than mere imagination. It is the spark that ignites creation, the lens through which opportunity becomes visible, and the blueprint that guides action. Without vision, effort scatters. Without vision, talent goes unused. Without vision, even most favorable circumstances remain invisible. Every breakthrough, every empire, every fortune begins first as a vivid image in someone's mind. Imagine Leora, a young woman living in a cramped city apartment. Her days were monotonous, filled with repetitive work, but each night she closed her eyes and pictured the life she longed for. She imagined owning a business that reflected her creativity and values, envisioned clients who appreciated her work, and even pictured her team growing alongside her, thriving in shared purpose. Each evening, she painted this reality in her mind with precision, almost as if she could step into it. This daily practice did something profound. It trained her subconscious to recognize possibilities, align her actions, and magnetize opportunities. Within a few years, her vision had manifested: a thriving business, a team of devoted collaborators, and a life that matched the dreams she had once held silently. Vision, however, is fragile. It is threatened by doubt, fear, and criticism. Think of it as molten gold. Left unsupported, it spills and solidifies chaotically, never achieving its intended form. Belief is the mold. When reinforced by unwavering faith, vision crystallizes into action and reality. Without belief, even the most vivid imagination remains ephemeral. With belief, the impossible becomes inevitable. Consider Thomas, an inventor struggling for years with failed prototypes. Each setback could have been a signal to quit, yet he held on to his vision, imagining the device working perfectly, seeing people using it successfully, and feeling the satisfaction of creation. That unwavering vision guided his hands and sharpened his mind. Finally, after repeated trials and refinements, his invention succeeded, changing lives and proving the power of vision held within a disciplined mind. Vision is amplified through imagination, the alchemist fire that fuels transformation. It allows you to explore possibilities, rehearse success, anticipate challenges, and innovate solutions that do not yet exist. Imagination gives the mind the freedom to see beyond current circumstances. Vision, when fused with imagination, transforms thought into magnetism. People, opportunities, and resources appear, drawn to the clarity of your intention. But vision demands courage. It is a conscious confrontation with uncertainty, a willingness to perceive what others cannot, and act despite risk. Every inventor, entrepreneur, leader, or artist who changed the world confronted fear before embracing possibility. The greatest achievements in history were accomplished by those who dared to envision a future unseen by the masses. Ask yourself, what is your vision? Not a casual wish or passing thought, but the image that burns in your mind when the world is quiet. Hold it clearly. Feel it as if it already exists. The intensity of your vision determines the force of your alchemy. Each day you nurture it, protect it from doubt, and act in alignment with it, the more real it becomes. The philosopher's stone is within you. It is vision made tangible through disciplined thought and unwavering belief. Feed it, protect it, sharpen it, and watch as your inner spark begins to transform your life in ways that no external circumstance could ever accomplish alone. Mental alchemy begins with vision. It is the seed from which courage, gratitude, discipline, and belief will grow. Without it, the journey is aimless. With it, the impossible becomes inevitable. Today, claim your philosopher's stone. See the world not as it is, but as it could be, and commit to bringing that vision into reality. Chapter 3. Transmuting Fear into Fuel. Fear, a word that tightens a chest, quickens a pulse, and whispers that you are not enough. Fear is often seen as an obstacle to wealth, a barrier that must be avoided, ignored, or overcome. But the truth is far more powerful. Fear is raw material for creation. It is not the enemy. It is the furnace in which courage is forged, clarity is revealed, and action becomes unstoppable. Imagine fear as a stormy river. Most people see it and hesitate, imagining themselves swept away, powerless against its force. But a mental alchemist sees the same river differently, not as a threat, but as energy in motion, capable of powering mills, lighting fires, and propelling action. Fear, properly harnessed, is fuel for transformation. It is energy waiting to be redirected, strength waiting to be claimed. Consider Malik, a young entrepreneur with a vision for a revolutionary tech startup. Each night, he lay awake imagining failure, financial ruin, and public embarrassment. The fear was suffocating. Yet one night, he asked himself a simple question: what is fear trying to tell me? He realized fear pointed to what mattered most: his vision, his dream, and the stakes he valued. Each fear became a guide, highlighting areas for preparation, learning, and growth. He did not banish fear. He transmuted it into fuel, letting it sharpen his focus and strengthen his resolve. Alchemists of old sought to turn lead into gold. Mental alchemists turned fear into power, anxiety into clarity, and doubt into action. Every obstacle that frightens you carries within it the opportunity to refine your mind, deepen your courage, and strengthen your determination. Consider diamonds, formed under immense pressure and heat over centuries. Without that crucible, they remain ordinary carbon, unremarkable and fragile. Steel, too, is forged in fire, hammered repeatedly until it holds shape. Fear is the pressure, the heat, and the hammer of your inner forge. Fear always has a companion. Courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting despite it. Every leap of faith, every pioneering idea, every risk that leads to wealth begins with acknowledging fear and moving forward anyway. Amara, a musician, feared public judgment and rejection. Yet each time she faced her fear, performing in small venues despite shaking hands and a pounding heart, she grew stronger. Her music reached wider audiences. Her confidence expanded, and what once felt paralyzing became a source of fuel and creativity. Fear had been transformed into power. The process of transmuting fear requires 3 steps: acknowledgement, acceptance, and redirection. First, recognize fear without denial. It is a signal, not a punishment. Second, accept fear as part of growth. It marks the edge of potential. Third, redirect the energy fear produces toward deliberate action. Each quiver of doubt becomes a hammer strike in the forge of your mind. Each tremor of anxiety becomes fuel to propel you forward. Fear sharpens the summon as well. It heightens awareness, reveals hidden obstacles, and helps identify opportunities that complacency might miss. The mental alchemist does not shrink from storms. They channel them. Adversity, when seen through this lens, becomes a teacher, revealing gaps to fill, strategies to refine, and new paths to explore. The wealth you seek is never solely external. It is built upon resilience, courage, and the ability to act decisively in uncertainty. Those who fear nothing gain nothing. Those who transmute fear into fuel gain everything. Ask yourself now, what fear has prevented you from stepping fully into your potential? Visualize it as raw metal in the forge. Strike it with courage. Fan it with persistence. Shape it into the tool that builds your life, your wealth, and your destiny. Every fear faced, every doubt confronted, is another strike of the hammer on the anvil of your mind. Each step forward is a spark that lights the fire of possibility. Mental alchemy is not the absence of fear, it is mastery of it. It transforms trembling uncertainty into unstoppable momentum. Your mind is a crucible. Fear is not a wall. It is energy. Harness it, direct it, forge it into power. Let the fire of fear become a fire that illuminates your path. Wealth, freedom, and fulfillment are waiting, but only for those willing to dance with fear, shape it, and let it fuel the creation of their dreams. Chapter 4. The Gold of Gratitude. In the pursuit of wealth, many focus solely on strategy, skill, and opportunity, believing external accumulation will bring fulfillment. Yet the most potent force in mental alchemy is invisible, subtle, and infinitely powerful: gratitude. Gratitude is a secret alloy that strengthens thought, amplifies vision, and transforms ordinary experiences into extraordinary opportunities. It is the gold hidden in plain sight, waiting to be claimed. Picture a sculptor, chipping tirelessly at a block of marble. Each stroke seems repetitive, almost mundane. Yet with each precise motion, the figure within the stone emerges. Gratitude functions in the mind like the sculptor's hand, shaping raw experience into a masterpiece. Without it, effort is scattered. With it, even small actions align with a larger purpose. It becomes a fertile soil in which the seeds of wealth can grow. Consider Nia, a young woman working long hours in a modest cafe. She dreamed of owning her own business, but felt discouraged by slow progress. One morning, she began a simple practice, listing 3 things she was grateful for. At first, they were small: a good cup of coffee, a friendly customer, a quiet moment in the sun. Over weeks, her perspective began to shift. Gratitude transformed her perception, revealing opportunities she had previously overlooked. She began seeing solutions where she once saw only obstacles. Clients appeared, ideas flourished, and her dreams slowly took tangible shape. Her wealth had begun, not from money, but from the subtle shift in her mind brought by appreciation. Gratitude is not blind optimism. It does not ignore hardship, loss, or frustration. Instead, it acknowledges the abundance already present and uses it as a foundation for growth. By focusing on what exists rather than what is missing, you align your mind with opportunity rather than lack. This subtle shift magnifies the power of thought, guiding energy and attention toward creation. History is filled with examples. Inventors, artists, and entrepreneurs who consistently practice gratitude discover resources, mentors, and pathways that others overlook. They notice patterns in life, small coincidences, and unforeseen openings. Gratitude heightens perception, turning ordinary events into stepping stones toward wealth. Thomas Edison famously reframed failure as a collection of lessons, expressing gratitude for the knowledge gained in each unsuccessful experiment. That perspective transformed challenge into advantage, teaching the mind to harness setbacks as fuel for eventual triumph. How can you employ gratitude as a tool of mental alchemy? Begin each day by acknowledging abundance. Focus on your skills, experiences, relationships, and the opportunities already surrounding you. Express thanks in concrete ways. Write notes of appreciation, affirm your recognition of others, or silently honor the progress you've made. These acts are catalysts, aligning your thoughts with possibility and attracting external opportunities in harmony with your inner state. Gratitude also strengthens vision. A mind attuned to appreciation notices details invisible to those focused on lack. Every interaction, every setback, every small victory becomes material to build upon. Opportunities that might have been overlooked suddenly appear. Relationships deepen. Ideas flow. The mind, once distracted by scarcity or dissatisfaction, becomes sharp, fertile, and capable of manifesting wealth in multiple forms: financial, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. Furthermore, gratitude creates a positive feedback loop. The more you practice it, the more your perception shifts. The world seems to offer more because your mind is attuned to notice it. The simple act of recognizing abundance multiplies it. Wealth, in this sense, is both internal and external, a mirror reflecting your mental state. Ask yourself now, what blessings exist in your life that you have overlooked? What ordinary moments contain extraordinary potential? By cultivating gratitude, you turn what already exists into the foundation for growth. Every thought of appreciation is a hammer strike in the forge of your mind. Every acknowledgement of abundance refines your inner gold. The alchemy of thought is incomplete without gratitude. Vision charts the course. Courage powers the action. Discipline channels effort. But gratitude ensures that the foundation is fertile, aligned, and receptive to the wealth your mind is creating. Practice it daily. Saturate your consciousness with it. And watch as opportunities, ideas, and tangible wealth flow toward you, drawn to the light of your grateful mind. Mental alchemy transforms ordinary minds into extraordinary creators. Gratitude is the gold that gives all other forces value. Hold it close. Nurture it. Let it shape your perception. And watch as your world reflects the riches of a mind attuned to abundance. Chapter 5. The Discipline of Thought. A mind without discipline is like a river without banks. Scattered, turbulent, and ultimately wasted. Wealth is not born from random flashes of inspiration, occasional effort, or luck alone. It is born from deliberate, focused thought, shaped and channeled with intention. Discipline in thinking is the forge that transforms vision, courage, and gratitude into tangible results. Without it, even brilliant ideas remain dormant, lost in the chaos of scattered attention. Imagine a master archer. His bow is finely crafted, his arrows perfectly balanced. Yet without practice, his aim is unreliable. The best arrow, the strongest bow, will miss the target if his hand, eye, and mind are not trained. Similarly, your mind may hold sparks of genius, but without the discipline to focus and act on those sparks, they dissipate into nothing. Discipline is not restriction. It is freedom. It allows you to direct thought towards specific goals, shaping your mental energy with precision. The undisciplined mind drifts like a leaf in a storm. The disciplined mind is a laser, cutting through uncertainty, fear, and distraction to achieve results. Consider Julian, a young entrepreneur with brilliant ideas but little follow-through. For years, he jumped from one concept to another, frustrated by lack of progress. One day, he committed to a single daily practice, dedicating 1 hour exclusively to refining his most promising idea. In that hour, all distractions were removed, doubts were acknowledged, then set aside. Focus became absolute. Within months, his scattered energy had transformed into a thriving business. Discipline had turned vision into reality. Discipline strengthens not only focus, but also timing. Every thought, decision, and action has an ideal moment. Acting too early can waste energy. Acting too late can miss opportunity. Discipline trains a mind to sense the right moment, guiding intuition and reason in harmony. Maya, a writer dreaming of publishing a novel, struggled with procrastination and perfectionism. By instituting a disciplined routine, writing 1 chapter every morning before the world awoke, she transformed inconsistent effort into a completed manuscript. Discipline turned potential into achievement. Discipline also requires mastery of mental chatter. Fear, doubt, and distraction arise constantly. A disciplined mind does not suppress these thoughts, but observes them, acknowledges them, and gently redirects focus to what matters. Each time a stray thought is returned to attention, the mind becomes stronger, more resilient, and more capable of creating wealth. Small acts of discipline compound over time. Just as daily exercise strengthens a body, daily disciplined thought strengthens a mind. 1 hour of focused attention, repeated consistently, can achieve more than years of scattered effort. Your mind is a fertile field. Discipline is the plow. Every seed of vision, belief, and gratitude finds fertile soil in which to grow. Wealth rarely emerges by accident. It is shaped by minds that are vigilant, intentional, and disciplined. The difference between dreamers and achievers is not luck. It is a repeated, deliberate alignment of thought with action. As you practice discipline, notice how your vision clarifies. Fear loses its power to paralyze. Gratitude deepens. Opportunities, ideas, and solutions that once seemed elusive now appear with clarity. Your inner forge is alive. Fuel, vision, courage, and gratitude are ready. Discipline channels all of them, turning raw energy into a precise, unstoppable force. Each day, your mind grows more capable, attuned to the wealth you are destined to create. Embrace discipline not as a task, but as a lifestyle. Guard your attention, guide your thoughts, and honor the immense power of your mind. The riches you seek are already forming within. Thought, once disciplined, becomes a tool that shapes destiny. The forge of your mind is waiting. Strike the hammer. Feed the fire. Let discipline transform potential into reality, and watch your inner alchemy produce wealth beyond imagination. Chapter 6. The Architecture of Belief. Belief is the unseen foundation upon which all creation rests. It is the architecture of reality itself, the framework that allows vision, courage, gratitude, and disciplined thought to transform into tangible wealth. Without belief, even the most brilliant ideas and the most disciplined minds crumble like sandcastles before a tide. With belief, the impossible becomes inevitable. Imagine a house built without a foundation. No matter how strong the walls, how carefully the beams are placed, the structure will collapse. Belief is that foundation. It is the soil from which every thought grows, the invisible scaffold that supports ambition, and the glue that holds the components of mental alchemy together. Consider Elias, a young inventor, who dreamed of revolutionizing transportation. Every prototype failed. Friends and colleagues doubted him. Critics dismissed his ideas as unrealistic. Yet Elias never wavered in his belief that his vision could exist. That belief guided his hands, sharpened his decisions, and compelled him to persist when others would have abandoned hope. Each failure became a lesson, each setback a stepping stone. Finally, after countless trials, his invention succeeded, changing lives and validating the power of steadfast belief. Belief is the mind's currency. Every thought invested in doubt, hesitation, or fear weakens the structure. Every thought invested in conviction, possibility, and faith strengthens it. Mental alchemy relies not only on ideas, but on the unwavering belief that those ideas are capable of manifesting reality. Strengthening belief begins with examining the stories you tell yourself. Are they limiting, repetitive, and cautious? Or are they empowering, expansive, and bold? Rewrite the narratives that confine you. Replace "I can't" with "I can learn." Transform "it's impossible" into "it is not yet done." These subtle shifts recalibrate the mind's architecture, aligning your thoughts with possibility rather than limitation. Belief is also nurtured through repetition and reinforcement. Affirmations, visualization, and acknowledgement of small victories cultivate an internal landscape where conviction thrives. Every success, no matter how minor, reinforces the structure. Each challenge overcomes cements belief further. Imagine your mind as a cathedral under construction. Walls represent principles. Arches symbolize discipline. Foundations embody gratitude, and beams are vision. Belief is the mortar holding everything together. Without it, the structure collapses. With it, the cathedral rises majestic and enduring, capable of supporting extraordinary wealth and fulfillment. Belief is contagious. Those who meet someone with unwavering faith in their vision are drawn to it. Mentors, collaborators, and opportunities appear as if magnetized by conviction. Internal certainty signals to the universe that your vision is real, and the universe responds. Yet belief alone is insufficient. It must be combined with action. Faith without effort is like planting seeds without watering them. They will not grow. True alchemy requires not only the certainty of mind, but the deliberate shaping of that certainty into steps, decisions, and strategies that manifest ideas into reality. Ask yourself, which beliefs are shaping your world? Which beliefs have confined you? Begin the architecture now. Build a framework of convictions that empower, inspire, and sustain you. Surround them with practices that reinforce their strength. Protect them from doubt, distraction, and negativity. Wealth is rarely accidental. It is formed by minds that are vigilant, intentional, and disciplined. Belief is the cornerstone. Vision is the blueprint. Courage is the hammer. Gratitude is the soil. Together, they create a structure capable of holding abundance in every form. The alchemy of thought is methodical. Belief is the mortar that allows all other forces to align. Strengthen it, guard it, and watch as your mental cathedral, once a vision, becomes a reality capable of sustaining the life and wealth you have always imagined. Chapter 7. Mastering the Flow of Energy. Every thought carries energy. Some thoughts are sparks, brief, flickering, unnoticed. Others are fire, sustained, intense, capable of shaping reality. The mind is a conduit for energy, and learning to master its flow is essential for forging wealth from thought. Mental alchemy is not simply thinking. It is directing thought energy with precision, amplifying intention, and converting focus into tangible results. Consider energy like a river. When it is scattered, flowing freely in multiple directions, it has little impact. The river may be beautiful, powerful in sections, but it cannot achieve specific outcomes. When channeled, however, it becomes a force of creation, turning mills, irrigating fields, and generating life. Your mind is that river, and mastery lies in shaping the flow of energy toward deliberate creation. Take Aisha, a graphic designer dreaming of launching her own studio. For years, she worked sporadically, letting inspiration dictate her schedule. Her talent was evident, but her results were inconsistent. One day, she decided to approach her thoughts as energy to be harnessed rather than random sparks. Each morning, she began setting intentions, visualizing her goals, and focusing her efforts for several uninterrupted hours. She eliminated distractions, directed her mental energy toward her vision, and consciously monitored her thoughts. Gradually, what had once been scattered and ineffective became focused and productive. Her ideas took shape, clients multiplied, and her studio grew steadily. Energy in the mind can be categorized into 3 types: constructive, neutral, and destructive. Constructive energy fuels growth, innovation, and creation. Neutral energy maintains routines but does not expand potential. Destructive energy dissipates focus, amplifies fear, or distracts from intention. Mastery involves recognizing these streams, enhancing constructive, redirecting or transforming the neutral, and minimizing the destructive. Fear and doubt, for instance, are not inherently destructive. They are energy waiting to be redirected. Anxiety can become a catalyst for preparation. worry can be transformed into strategic planning. Each ounce of mental energy, if consciously harnessed, contributes to creation rather than depletion. Visualization is a key tool for energy mastery. When you vividly imagine your goals, the mind aligns subconscious patterns with intention. Opportunities, solutions, and ideas begin to appear naturally. Energy that once flowed randomly now directs itself toward specific outcomes. Think of it as wiring your internal river to channel the strongest currents toward the desired destination. Meditation and focused attention are equally vital. These practices clear mental clutter, strengthen awareness, and cultivate the capacity to guide energy deliberately. A mind trained in focus and clarity does not waste energy on trivialities. It does not react impulsively to external circumstances. Instead, it channels every thought with intention, magnifying its effect and aligning outcomes with vision. Energy also amplifies through emotion. Positive emotions, gratitude, joy, passion, act like fuel, increasing the force behind each thought. Conversely, negative emotions drain and scatter energy. This is why gratitude and belief are foundational elements of mental alchemy. They prime the mind, heighten focus, and create the optimal environment for energy to flow freely. Consider the cumulative effect. Each day that mental energy is harnessed and directed adds to momentum. Small acts of consistent focus compound over time, creating results far beyond what initial effort might suggest. The river grows stronger, the current faster, the force unstoppable. Ask yourself, where's your energy flowing now? Is it directed toward your vision, or dissipated in distraction, worry, and indecision? Begin consciously redirecting it. Strengthen focus, eliminate clutter, nurture positive emotion, and align every thought with your goals. This is how ordinary minds become extraordinary instruments of creation. Mastery of mental energy is the bridge between thought and reality. It transforms vision into action, courage into resilience, and belief into results. The forge of your mind is active, but the energy it produces must be channeled wisely. Guide it, shape it, amplify it. Let it flow with purpose, and watch as the current of your mind carve the path to wealth, influence, and fulfillment. Mental alchemy demands attention, intention, and energy mastery. Those who learn to direct the flow of their thoughts do not wait for opportunity. They create it. Your inner river is alive. Its currents are powerful. Take hold of the helm and navigate toward the life you are destined to manifest. Chapter 8. Forging Wealth from Relationships. No human mind exists in isolation. Even the most brilliant ideas, disciplined thoughts, and fearless actions are amplified or constrained by the relationships surrounding them. Mental alchemy recognizes that wealth is not solely a product of solitary effort. It is co-created in a complex web of human interaction. Relationships are conduits of energy, knowledge, and opportunity, and learning to forge them intentionally is a cornerstone of creating lasting abundance. Consider the story of Arya, a young entrepreneur navigating the crowded world of startups. She had vision, belief, and discipline, but she struggled to expand beyond her immediate circle. When she began deliberately cultivating relationships, connecting with mentors, peers, and potential collaborators, her world shifted. Conversations sparked ideas, feedback refined her approach, and partnerships multiplied opportunities. Wealth, both tangible and intangible, flowed as a direct result of the network she nurtured. Relationships are like metal in a forge. Some are base, unrefined, and prone to fracture. Others, when tempered with trust, respect, and shared purpose, become resilient, capable of supporting immense weight. The alchemist of thought must recognize the difference and invest energy where it produces the greatest return. Surround yourself with minds that challenge, inspire, and elevate you. Distance yourself from negativity, envy, and distraction. Every connection you form can either feed your inner fire or drain it. Choose carefully. Forging wealth through relationships requires 3 principles: authenticity, reciprocity, and alignment. Authenticity ensures that interactions are sincere, building trust and credibility. Reciprocity is the recognition that giving precedes receiving. The mind that shares freely, mentors willingly, and supports others consistently multiplies its own resources. Alignment ensures that relationships reinforce your vision rather than distract from it. Just as fire tempers metal, Interactions with aligned individuals strengthen your capacity to create. Emotional intelligence is the hammer in this forge. Understanding, empathy, and intuition allow you to navigate complex social dynamics, anticipate needs, and respond effectively. Those who master these skills attract allies naturally, fostering collaboration that multiplies results. When energy is exchanged with clarity and intention, the output is far greater than the sum of individual effort. Conflict, too, plays a role in the alchemy of relationships. Misunderstandings, disagreements, and challenges can serve as catalysts for growth if approached consciously. A resilient mind views conflict as an opportunity to strengthen communication, refine boundaries, and deepen mutual respect. By transforming friction into learning, even difficult relationships become instruments of growth. Gratitude is the linchpin of relational wealth. Acknowledging the contributions of others, expressing appreciation, and celebrating shared victories strengthens bonds and generates positive energy. People are drawn to those who recognize their value and act in ways that elevate collective potential. The network of your mind becomes a living, breathing forge, creating opportunities, resources, and collaborations that would be impossible alone. Consider mentorship. Every expert who guides, every advisor who challenges, and every peer who shares insight represents concentrated energy, experience, and perspective. Accessing that energy multiplies the efficiency of your own mental alchemy. Wealth is rarely generated in isolation. It is a product of aligned minds, shared vision, and mutual cultivation. Ask yourself, which relationships in your life fuel your growth, and which deplete it? Who elevates your thinking, inspires courage, and reinforces belief? Invest time, energy, and attention there. Every interaction becomes a tool to shape your mental and material world. Relationships are not merely social. They are alchemical instruments. Handle them with care, precision, and intentionality. The wealth of thought expands exponentially when shared, amplified, and refined through connection. Like gold that gains luster when polished, your ideas, energy, and vision reach their full potential when integrated into a network of aligned minds. Mental alchemy extends beyond solitary mastery. It thrives in the forge of collaboration, trust, and intentional relationship building. Step forward consciously. Choose allies who challenge and inspire. Engage mentors who guide without judgment. Support peers who elevate collective potential. As you do, the wealth of your mind will manifest more powerfully, and the life you envision will emerge faster, stronger, and more enduring than ever imagined. Chapter 9. The Alchemy of Opportunity. Opportunity is not random. It is rarely a coincidence or mere luck. In mental alchemy, opportunity is a natural consequence of disciplined thought, aligned energy, and cultivated relationships. It is the universe responding to a mind prepared to receive and act. To forge wealth from thought, you must learn to recognize, create, and harness opportunities with precision and courage. Imagine a miner in a vast field of rock. Gold may lie buried, invisible, until the miner's pick strikes it in the right place. Many strike aimlessly and go home empty-handed. Few study the patterns, the geology, the subtleties of the terrain. Those few understand that opportunity is always present, but only those who know where, when, and how to look can transform it into wealth. Your mind is a miner, trained to recognize the veins of potential running through life. Consider Raphael, a software developer with an ambitious project idea. He noticed subtle trends in technology adoption before they became mainstream. While others hesitated, he acted, creating a platform aligned with an emerging need. His preparation, insight, and courage allowed him to recognize opportunity where others saw only uncertainty. In doing so, he turned an idea into a business that rapidly gained traction, transforming vision into wealth. Opportunity had not simply appeared. It had been discovered by a mind ready to act. Opportunities are energy in motion. They often arrive disguised as challenge, risk, or uncertainty. The mental alchemist does not shy away from these appearances. Instead, each problem is analyzed, its potential unlocked, and its energy redirected toward creation. Fear and doubt are acknowledged, but do not halt progress. The disciplined mind sees what is hidden behind surface appearances, translating obstacles into stepping stones. To harness opportunity, practice 3 essential skills: awareness, readiness, and decisiveness. Awareness allows you to perceive trends, patterns, and subtle signals others miss. Readiness ensures your skills, resources, and mindset are aligned with the demands of the moment. Decisiveness enables action before hesitation erodes potential. Together, these skills allow the alchemist to convert latent possibilities into concrete outcomes. Gratitude and belief amplify this process. When the mind operates from appreciation and conviction, it naturally aligns with flow, drawing opportunities toward it. Relationships, as discussed previously, create channels through which opportunities travel, connecting effort with reward. By cultivating an internal state of alignment, the mental alchemist ensures that chance encounters, insights, and moments of inspiration are recognized and acted upon. Consider the subtle power of timing. Opportunity is not merely about recognizing potential. It is about acting when conditions are right. Mental alchemy develops the intuition to sense the right moment, guided by disciplined thought, experience, and visualization. Missed timing is often mistaken for missed opportunity, when in reality, the mind simply lacked alignment and focus. The creation of opportunity also requires courage. Every potential reward carries the risk of failure. Every innovation carries the possibility of rejection. The alchemist does not ignore these risks, but embraces them as integral to the process. Fear is transformed into fuel, uncertainty into insight, and hesitation into action. Ask yourself, where do opportunities already exist in your life that you have overlooked? What challenges can be transformed into openings? What networks, skills, or resources can be aligned to create exponential potential? Begin to see life as a field of latent wealth, waiting for the alchemist's hand to strike with focus and intention. Opportunities multiply when recognized and acted upon. The disciplined mind identifies them. Belief sustains action. Gratitude enhances perception. And courage converts vision into reality. The alchemy of opportunity is a skill, deliberate, repeatable, and learnable. It is the bridge between thought and manifestation, between desire and tangible achievement. Forge your mind to recognize and seize opportunity. Channel your energy, align your vision, and act decisively. In doing so, you turn potential into reality, and the wealth of thought begins to materialize as enduring, tangible abundance. Mental alchemy thrives not on chance, but on preparation, perception, and the fearless application of aligned thought. Chapter 10. Resilience, the Alchemist's Shield. Every journey toward wealth and mastery encounters resistance. Obstacles arise, setbacks appear, and unforeseen challenges test the resolve of even the most disciplined mind. Mental alchemy recognizes that wealth is not only forged from vision, discipline, and energy, but also from resilience. Resilience is the alchemist's shield, the force that allows thought to endure pressure, overcome adversity, and continue shaping reality in the face of hardship. Imagine a blacksmith hammering molten metal. Sparks fly, and the material bends and twists under immense pressure. Without the right balance of heat, focus, and protection, the metal would fracture. The alchemist's shield functions similarly. It protects your mind, maintains alignment, and ensures that each strike, each thought, action, and decision strengthens rather than shatters your inner forge. Consider Leona, a young entrepreneur who faced repeated failures in her early ventures. Investors withdrew, prototypes failed, and public criticism threatened to crush her spirit. Yet she approached these challenges with deliberate resilience. Instead of succumbing to despair, she examined each setback as a lesson, adjusting strategy, refining her approach, and reinforcing her belief. Her resilience transformed adversity into fuel, turning obstacles into stepping stones toward success. Eventually, her determination and adaptability led to a breakthrough, launching a business that surpassed even her boldest expectations. Resilience is not mere stubbornness. It is a sophisticated mental skill. It requires awareness of one's inner state, the ability to regulate emotion, and the discipline to maintain focus under pressure. A resilient mind does not collapse in the face of challenge. It observes, adapts, and redirects energy with precision. Every failure becomes a teacher, every difficulty a mentor, and every obstacle an opportunity to grow stronger. 3 essential components cultivate resilience: perspective, adaptability, and persistence. Perspective allows you to see beyond immediate frustration, understanding that challenges are temporary and often instructive. Adaptability enables you to pivot strategy without losing sight of ultimate goals. finding new pathways when obstacles block familiar routes. Persistence ensures that the momentum of effort continues, even when results are delayed. Together, these traits form the shield that protects and empowers the alchemist's mind. Resilience is magnified through the interplay of belief and gratitude. Belief sustains commitment when circumstances appear bleak, reinforcing confidence that effort and vision will eventually yield results. Gratitude grounds a mind, highlighting progress and abundance even amidst struggle, preventing despair and reinforcing focus. The combination of inner faith and appreciative awareness creates an environment where setbacks are absorbed, lessons are learned, and forward motion continues. History provides countless examples. Innovators, artists, and leaders who revolutionize their fields often face repeated rejection. J.K. Rowling was denied by numerous publishers before her first book was accepted. Thomas Edison tested thousands of failed prototypes before perfecting the light bulb. Resilience allowed them to persist, learn, and eventually manifest extraordinary results. Mental alchemy turns similar challenges into opportunities, transforming pressure into power, failure into feedback, and difficulty into the crucible that produces greatness. Resilience also protects mental energy. Life will inevitably bring distractions, criticism, and stress. A resilient mind maintains focus, prevents mental energy from leaking into unproductive channels, and ensures that effort continues to flow toward vision. The alchemist's shield is not impenetrable, but it is deliberate, dynamic, and renewable. Ask yourself, when adversity arises, how do you respond? Do setbacks scatter your energy, erode belief, or amplify fear? Or do you harness challenges, refine your approach, and press forward with clarity and purpose? Begin cultivating resilience as a daily practice. Recognize your reactions, reframe setbacks as lessons, and reinforce commitment to your vision. Mental alchemy is not about a smooth path. It is about mastery under pressure. Wealth is not simply a reward for ease. It is a product of minds that endure, adapt, and act decisively despite uncertainty. Resilience allows you to continue forging thought into reality, ensuring that temporary obstacles never prevent permanent progress. Your inner forge is strong, but without resilience, even the brightest fire may falter. Protect it, cultivate it, and wield it intentionally. The alchemist's shield transforms challenges into catalysts, pressure into power, and setbacks into stepping stones. With resilience, your wealth of thought becomes unstoppable, enduring, and ever-expanding, ready to manifest as abundance in every aspect of your life. Chapter 11. The Synthesis of Power. All elements of mental alchemy, vision, courage, gratitude, discipline, thought, belief, energy, mastery, relationships, opportunity, and resilience are individual forces. Alone, each can generate sparks of progress, small victories, or fleeting success. But the true wealth of mental alchemy emerges when these forces are combined, synthesized, and applied with precision. This is the alchemist's ultimate art, the synthesis of power. Think of an orchestra. A single instrument can produce a beautiful melody, but the full symphony only emerges when instruments play together, guided by a conductor who understands harmony, timing, and dynamics. In mental alchemy, your mind is the orchestra, and synthesis is the conductor. Every principle, every skill, every energy flow must be aligned, coordinated, and directed to produce results that are greater than the sum of their parts. Consider Raphael, the entrepreneur we met earlier. His early success in recognizing opportunity was impressive, but true transformation occurred only when he integrated all elements of mental alchemy. Vision-guided strategy, belief-sustained action, courage-fueled risk-taking. Gratitude opened doors to relationships. Discipline thought organized effort, and resilience carried him through setbacks. Each principle alone was valuable. Together, they produced unstoppable momentum. His company did not merely survive. It became a leader in its field, a testament to the power of synthesis. Synthesis begins with clarity. You must know your objectives, understand the resources at your disposal, and identify the principles of mental alchemy you can apply most effectively. Without clarity, the integration of forces is chaotic, producing scattered results. With clarity, forces combine like well-aligned currents, creating energy that is focused, potent, and precise. Next comes alignment. Each element must reinforce the others. Gratitude amplifies belief. Courage strengthens resilience. Vision directs energy. Relationships expand opportunity. Discipline channels all forces. Misalignment, acting with courage but no vision or seeking opportunity without belief, dilutes power and slows progress. Mental alchemy is not random. It is structured, intentional, and deliberate. Timing is essential. The synthesis of power is not simply stacking principles. It is orchestrating their application at the right moment. Opportunities, energy flows, and human dynamics all have rhythms. Recognizing these rhythms, guided by disciplined thought and refined perception, allows the alchemist to strike with maximum impact. Acting too early or too late wastes energy. Acting at the right moment multiplies results exponentially. Visualization is a bridge between synthesis and manifestation. The mind must rehearse integrated action, combining every element in a coherent mental simulation. By imagining the execution of strategy, the alignment of relationships, and the optimal flow of energy, you condition your subconscious to act with coordination and power. Mental rehearsal amplifies the potency of synthesis, ensuring that when action occurs, it is deliberate, confident, and highly effective. Emotional intelligence further enhances synthesis. Recognizing and managing emotions in yourself and others ensures that energy is not dissipated through conflict, hesitation, or miscommunication. Aligned emotional energy magnifies every action, every interaction, and every decision, creating outcomes that reflect the full power of integrated mental forces. The culmination of synthesis is momentum. Each principle applied in harmony accelerates results, producing compounding effects that far exceed isolated effort. Wealth, influence, and fulfillment are no longer incremental. They expand rapidly, like a river gathering tributaries into a torrent of creation. The alchemist experiences not only external abundance, but also internal mastery, the sense of commanding forces within the mind that can shape reality. Ask yourself, where can you integrate your skills, beliefs, and energies more effectively? Which principles are isolated and underutilized? How can vision, courage, gratitude, discipline, relationships, and resilience be coordinated to create maximum impact? Synthesis is the answer. It transforms fragmented effort into exponential achievement. Mental alchemy is most powerful when holistic. Alone, sparks light fires. Together, currents become rivers. The synthesis of power turns rivers into torrents, forces into an unstoppable storm of creation. Every thought becomes intentional, every action aligned, every relationship leveraged, and every challenge transformed into opportunity. The forge of the mind is complete when synthesis is achieved. The fire burns hotter, the hammer strikes with purpose, and the metal of thought is transformed into gold. True wealth, internal, external, and eternal, emerges from the integration of all forces, producing results far beyond what any single element could achieve alone. Chapter 12. The magnetism of focus. Focus is the invisible force that draws your thoughts, energy, and actions toward manifestation. It is not merely concentration. It is magnetic alignment, the power to pull opportunities, ideas, and resources into the orbit of your vision. Without focus, even the most brilliant strategy, disciplined effort, and boundless courage dissipate like sparks in the wind. With it, momentum accumulates, compounding into extraordinary results. Imagine a magnifying glass held in sunlight, left afloat loosely. The rays disperse, producing warmth but little effect. Adjust it precisely, and the same sunlight ignites fire. Focus functions similarly in the mind. It directs energy with precision, creating heat, momentum, and transformation where scattered attention would produce little. Consider Soren, a young designer with a vision for a revolutionary sustainable fashion line. Initially, he pursued multiple avenues at once: social media campaigns, prototype designs, investor pitches, and networking events. His energy was fragmented, and progress was slow. One mentor challenged him, "Where does your focus lie?" Soren realized he had been spreading himself too thin. By concentrating fully on one project at a time, dedicating uninterrupted hours to creative development, he transformed scattered effort into potent, productive energy. Within months, his line gained recognition, investors engaged, and his vision began to materialize. The magnetism of focused thought had drawn results into alignment with intention. Focus is cultivated through deliberate practice. Distractions, external and internal, must be identified and minimized. The mind should be trained to resist scattering toward trivialities, doubts, or conflicting impulses. Techniques such as time blocking, meditation, visualization, and prioritization act as tools to strengthen this magnetic capacity. Each day, a consistent focus reinforces neural pathways, aligning subconscious patterns with conscious intent. The power of focus is magnified when combined with intention. Intent is a lens that directs thought energy. Unfocused energy moves randomly. Focused energy with clear intent generates measurable outcomes. Align your daily actions with your highest goals. Every decision, every microaction, should serve the overarching purpose. In doing so, your mind becomes a magnet, drawing the people, opportunities, and resources needed to actualize vision. Focus also enhances discernment. When the mind is concentrated, it recognizes patterns, evaluates options with clarity, and avoids distractions disguised as urgent matters. This skill separates those who act effectively from those who chase every passing impulse. The alchemist of thought treats focus as a sacred instrument, wielded with care and never wasted on trivial pursuits. Emotional alignment strengthens focus. Distractions often arise from unresolved emotion, fear, or inner conflict. By integrating belief, gratitude, and resilience, the mind stabilizes, clearing channels for concentrated energy. Emotional equilibrium transforms focus from effort into effortless magnetism, an automatic alignment that naturally draws resources and results. Focus also amplifies learning and skill acquisition. Time invested with concentration yields exponential growth and mastery. Knowledge becomes actionable. Skills are refined faster. Opportunities are recognized sooner. Momentum builds, reinforcing itself in a cycle of perpetual creation. Ask yourself, where is your attention flowing today? Are your thoughts scattering across competing priorities? Or are they magnetized toward a single powerful objective? Begin practicing deliberate focus. Allocate uninterrupted time. Remove distractions, and cultivate awareness of where energy is dissipated. Transform scattered sparks into concentrated fire. The mind is the ultimate magnet. Focus is a field that pulls life toward your intent. Energy, courage, and vision converge here, amplified by discipline and belief. When harnessed consistently, focus draws the circumstances, resources, and people that match your objectives into orbit, creating wealth, influence, and fulfillment. Mastery of focus is mastery of magnetism. The alchemist's fire intensifies, the hammer strikes with precision, and the currents of thought become an unstoppable force. Where attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, outcomes emerge. Harness focus, and watch as the intangible power of your mind reshapes your reality into the wealth you seek. Chapter 13, The Currency of Time. Time is the most precious resource, yet it is often undervalued, misunderstood, or wasted. Wealth is not created by thought alone. It is created by the deliberate allocation of time, combined with intention, focus, and disciplined action. In mental alchemy, time is not simply measured in hours or days. It is a currency, a medium through which energy, vision, and opportunity are transformed into tangible results. Consider time as a river, flowing continuously, indifferent to desire or distraction. Each moment carries potential. Some moments are quiet, almost imperceptible, yet filled with possibility. Others arrive with urgency, demanding decision, focus, and action. The alchemist treats time as gold, allocating it strategically, investing it wisely, and extracting maximum value from each segment of life. Take Talia, a writer aspiring to publish her first book. Initially, she spent hours aimlessly scrolling through social media, believing she was gathering inspiration. Weeks passed with little progress. One day, she adopted a simple practice, assigning fixed periods for focused writing, research, and planning. By treating time as a currency, she transformed idle hours into productive blocks. Over months, her manuscript progressed steadily. When deadlines arrived, she was prepared, not pressured. The currency of time, once squandered, became her most potent ally. Time, like mental energy, can be leveraged through planning and prioritization. Each task should be evaluated for its contribution to overarching goals. Distractions, even small ones, act as taxes on this currency, dissipating potential wealth before it is realized. Mental alchemy requires vigilance. The alchemist constantly monitors how time is spent, aligning every moment with intention, action, and opportunity. The concept of compounding applies to time as well as finance. Daily, focused actions accumulate, producing exponential growth. Just as small financial investments compound into substantial wealth, small increments of productive time compound into mastery, skill, and progress. 1 hour dedicated each day to study, creativity, or disciplined thought becomes hundreds of hours over a year, creating results that appear almost magical to the unprepared observer. Time is also intimately linked to choice. Every moment contains multiple paths. The alchemist recognizes that indecision and delay are the enemies of creation. Hesitation allows opportunity to drift past, while decisive action converts potential into reality. Awareness of this fact sharpens perception, cultivates urgency, and aligns effort with intention. Emotional mastery enhances the effective use of time. Fear, doubt, and distraction consume valuable moments if left unchecked. Through practices such as meditation, gratitude, and visualization, the mind stabilizes, allowing energy to be channeled into purposeful action. Time becomes not a pressure but a tool, a structured medium for transformation. The interplay of focus, energy, and time is the engine of mental alchemy. A mind fully present, concentrating on the highest priority tasks, becomes a magnet for opportunity. Each hour invested with intention multiplies results, attracting resources, ideas, and collaborations that further accelerate creation. Time, like thought, becomes a lever of immense power. Ask yourself, are you spending your time consciously or allowing it to slip unnoticed? Are your hours aligned with your highest vision or fragmented by distractions? Begin to treat each day as a ledger, allocating attention and effort as currency. Invest wisely, and the returns will compound into results that exceed imagination. Time is finite. Your use of it defines the life you manifest. By mastering its flow, you transform fleeting moments into a structured foundation for achievement. Discipline, focus, resilience, and intention all converge here, converge and convert ephemeral hours into permanent wealth. Mental alchemy transforms not only thought, but also how you inhabit each moment. The currency of time, once managed consciously, becomes a multiplier, accelerating the manifestation of vision, amplifying energy, and forging wealth that is enduring. The river of life flows unceasingly. Master it, and it carries you effortlessly toward the future you desire. Chapter 14, The Power of Reflection. Reflection is a mirror of the mind, a lens through which experience is examined, lessons are distilled, and insight emerges. While action propels creation, reflection ensures that action is intelligent, aligned, and sustainable. In mental alchemy, reflection is a refining process, the stage where raw experience is transformed into wisdom and knowledge, fueling greater wealth of thought and tangible results. Imagine a blacksmith inspecting a sword after each strike. The hammer shapes the metal, but only careful inspection ensures balance, sharpness, and strength. Reflection functions similarly in the mind. Without it, action is repetitive, mistakes accumulate, and potential remains untapped. With it, each experience is analyzed, refined, and integrated, transforming ordinary effort into extraordinary progress. Consider Marcus, an ambitious tech innovator who launched multiple apps with limited success. Initially, he focused solely on action, coding, launching, marketing, without reviewing results or analyzing failures. Progress was slow and inconsistent. When he adopted a structured reflection practice, dedicating time each week to evaluate strategies, analyze outcomes, and adjust tactics, the impact was transformative. His failures became lessons, successes became templates, and his efficiency and creativity accelerated. Reflection converted scattered effort into purposeful momentum, multiplying his results. Reflection is both introspective and strategic. Introspectively, it examines emotional and cognitive responses, fear, doubt, motivation, and resilience, identifying patterns that enhance or obstruct progress. Strategically, it evaluates choices, methods, and outcomes, revealing where adjustment can optimize results. Together, these dimensions ensure that effort is not wasted, that lessons are internalized, and that growth is continuous. Gratitude enhances the reflective process. By recognizing what went well and acknowledging support, resources, and opportunities, the mind reinforces positive behavior, strengthens belief, and cultivates motivation. Conversely, reflection without gratitude can become critical or destructive, emphasizing failures over lessons. The alchemist balances scrutiny with appreciation, converting experience into constructive insight. Reflection also strengthens foresight. By reviewing past patterns and decisions, the mind anticipates future challenges and opportunities. This predictive ability is crucial in mental alchemy. It allows the alchemist to navigate complex situations, avoid repeated mistakes, and recognize the subtle signs of emerging trends. Every review of past experience equips the mind with intelligence that extends beyond immediate perception. Journaling, meditation, and focused contemplation are practical tools for reflection. Writing captures thoughts and patterns that might otherwise be fleeting. Meditation allows emotional and cognitive clarity, separating noise from insight. Contemplation integrates lessons, connects experiences, and generates strategies for future action. These practices convert raw experience into the refined metal of wisdom. Reflection is also a catalyst for innovation. By evaluating outcomes, the mind identifies opportunities for improvement, refinement, and creativity. Each iteration becomes sharper, more precise, and more aligned with goals. Repeated cycles of action and reflection compound, producing insights that are impossible to achieve through action alone. Ask yourself, do you take time to review your decisions, actions, and results? Do you learn systematically from experience, or do you repeat patterns without awareness? Begin a practice of reflection. Examine successes and failures. Understand emotional and cognitive patterns, and integrate lessons into future strategy. This habit amplifies intelligence, sharpens decision-making, and accelerates the creation of wealth from thought. The mind, like a forge, benefits from cooling, tempering, and inspection. Reflection is a stage where raw energy and effort are assessed, refined, and directed into greater precision. Without it, progress is haphazard. With it, each step builds upon the last, creating momentum, clarity, and insight. Mental alchemy is complete only when reflection is integrated into action. It ensures that energy is focused, vision is refined, and belief is reinforced. Reflection transforms experience into knowledge, mistakes into lessons, and time into a continuous process of improvement. The alchemist who masters reflection wields a mind that is not only creative but wise, capable of converting thought into wealth with enduring precision and power. Chapter 15. The Dynamics of Influence. Influence is a subtle art of shaping perception, guiding decisions, and inspiring action without coercion. It is not about manipulation. It is about alignment, aligning your vision, energy, and intent with the perceptions and values of others. In mental alchemy, influence multiplies the power of thought, transforming individual effort into collective momentum, and opening pathways to wealth that no solitary action could achieve. Imagine a river flowing toward a dam. Alone, its energy is limited to a single channel. But when it spreads across tributaries, pushing turbines, turning wheels, and generating electricity, its impact multiplies exponentially. Influence functions in the human network the same way. A single mind, aligned and disciplined, can guide others, harnessing collective energy to achieve outcomes far beyond personal capability. Consider Lena, a social entrepreneur, seeking to launch a community initiative. She had vision, discipline, and energy, but early attempts to mobilize support were ineffective. People were skeptical, uncertain, or indifferent. Lena realized she needed to cultivate influence. She began by understanding her audience, listening carefully, empathizing deeply, and communicating authentically. By aligning her message with the aspirations and values of the community, she inspired trust and engagement. Volunteers joined, partnerships formed, and her initiative gained momentum. Influence had turned vision into collective action, accelerating her results exponentially. Influence relies on credibility, empathy, and communication. Credibility emerges from demonstrated skill, consistent behavior, and alignment between words and action. Empathy allows the influencer to perceive the needs, fears, and desires of others, shaping approach and messaging for maximum resonance. Communication translates intent into clear, compelling expression, ensuring that ideas are understood and embraced. Gratitude amplifies influence. Recognizing contributions, Expressing appreciation and validating the value of others strengthens bonds and deepens trust. People are drawn to those who honor their efforts, listen actively, and elevate collective potential. The alchemist leverages influence not as a tool for control, but as a magnet that draws alignment, energy, and collaboration. Influence also requires strategic patience. Immediate results are rare. Relationships take time to nurture. Trust must be earned, and collective momentum develops gradually. The alchemist combines focus, timing, and consistent action to amplify influence over time, understanding that delayed yet deliberate effect often produces the most enduring outcomes. Visualization enhances the skill of influence. By imagining interactions, responses, and outcomes, the mind prepares strategies that are adaptable, persuasive, and authentic. This mental rehearsal ensures that when engagement occurs, it is deliberate, confident, and aligned with the ultimate objective. Consider the interplay between influence and opportunity. Opportunities often exist within networks, communities, and systems. Influence opens doors, catalyzes cooperation, and creates pathways to access these opportunities. A mind attuned to influence can convert latent potential into real-world advantage, accelerating the manifestation of wealth and achievement. Ask yourself, how do others perceive you? Do your actions inspire trust, respect, and engagement? Are you aware of the impact your words, behavior, and presence have on collective momentum? Begin cultivating influence intentionally. Listen, empathize, communicate, and act consistently with integrity. Align your vision with the values and needs of others, and watch as your ability to shape outcomes magnifies exponentially. Influence is the amplifier of mental alchemy. Alone, thought produces incremental results. Combined with aligned human energy, it creates a force that multiplies impact, accelerates achievement, and unlocks opportunities that would otherwise remain inaccessible. The alchemist who masters influence transforms not only their own path, but the trajectory of those around them, forging collective wealth and enduring legacy. In mastering influence, the alchemist integrates every principle of mental alchemy: vision, belief, gratitude, discipline, energy, resilience, focus, and reflection into interactions that inspire action. Each conversation, relationship, and collaboration becomes a mechanism for creation. Influence, when wielded with integrity and intention, becomes a force of exponential transformation, turning thought into wealth not only for oneself but for the entire ecosystem of people and opportunities connected to your journey. Chapter 16, The Flow of Innovation. Innovation is the lifeblood of progress, the spark that transforms thought into wealth, and the bridge between possibility and reality. In mental alchemy, innovation is not an occasional flash of inspiration. It is a disciplined practice, a flow state where creativity, insight, and practical action converge to generate transformative results. The alchemist learns not only to create but to innovate continuously, turning challenges into breakthroughs and ideas into tangible value. Consider innovation as water flowing through a landscape. Unchanneled, it trickles, stagnant and unnoticed. Properly directed, it becomes a river, shaping valleys, creating fertile soil, and providing sustenance. The mind functions in a similar way. When disciplined, focused, and aligned, it channels creative energy into innovation that produces tangible wealth and enduring impact. Take Anika, a software engineer with a vision to develop tools that simplify daily life. She struggled initially, producing code that was functional but uninspired. Her breakthrough came when she integrated principles of mental alchemy, focus, belief, disciplined thought, and reflection into her creative process. By dedicating uninterrupted time to experimentation, analyzing feedback systematically, and maintaining clarity of vision, she transformed raw ideas into a revolutionary platform that attracted users and investors alike. Innovation had emerged not from randomness, but from disciplined application of mental principles. Innovation thrives at the intersection of imagination and practicality. Pure creativity without structure risks inefficiency, while rigid action without imagination leads to stagnation. The alchemist balances both. Ideas are generated freely, then refined through disciplined thought, aligned with vision, and executed with precision. Each cycle of creation and refinement produces increasingly sophisticated and valuable outcomes. The flow of innovation is amplified by curiosity and courage. Curiosity drives exploration, questioning assumptions, and seeking new possibilities. Courage fuels experimentation, taking risks that others avoid, and embracing failure as a teacher rather than a threat. Together, these forces allow the mind to navigate uncertainty and discover opportunities invisible to conventional thinking. Relationships further accelerate innovation. Collaboration, mentorship, and dialogue with diverse minds introduce perspectives that challenge assumptions and expand creative horizons. The mental alchemist leverages influence, emotional intelligence, and empathy to harness collective creativity, transforming individual sparks into collaborative breakthroughs. Innovation becomes a shared force, multiplying results beyond what any solitary mind could achieve. Gratitude enhances the innovation process. By appreciating resources, feedback, and collaboration, the mind fosters an open, receptive state, allowing inspiration to flow unhindered. A mind steeped in gratitude does not cling to ego, fear, or rigid thinking. It remains fluid, adaptive, and primed for creative breakthroughs. Reflection, as discussed previously, is the alchemist's tool for refining innovation. Every iteration of a product, service, or concept provides insight. By reviewing outcomes, analyzing failures, and integrating lessons, innovation becomes increasingly precise and impactful. The process is iterative. Ideas evolve, systems improve, and solutions grow more sophisticated over time. Ask yourself, are you cultivating the flow of innovation in your life? Are your ideas supported by disciplined thought, aligned vision, and courageous experimentation? Are you leveraging relationships, feedback, and reflection to amplify creativity? Begin to treat innovation not as a sporadic event, but as a continuous, intentional practice, an engine of transformation that converts thought into measurable wealth. Innovation, when mastered, becomes a force of exponential impact. The alchemist channels vision, focus, courage, belief, gratitude, and reflection into creative execution. Energy flows seamlessly, ideas crystallize into reality, and the cycle of creation accelerates. Each breakthrough fuels the next, producing momentum, opportunity, and tangible outcomes that compound over time. In mental alchemy, innovation is not optional. It is essential. It distinguishes those who merely follow trends from those who create them, those who react from those who shape reality. By mastering the flow of innovation, the alchemist ensures that thought is continually converted into wealth, influence, and lasting achievement. Each idea, refined and executed, becomes a spark that illuminates the path forward, demonstrating the transformative power of disciplined, intentional creativity. Chapter 17, The Art of Strategic Patience. Patience is often misunderstood as passive waiting, but in mental alchemy, it is a disciplined, deliberate, and active force. Strategic patience is the art of timing, knowing when to act, when to observe, and when to allow momentum to accumulate. It is a skill of aligning effort, energy, and opportunity with the optimal moment, transforming waiting into an active component of wealth creation. Consider a gardener tending to a tree. Seeds planted too early or harvested too soon fail to thrive. The patient gardener understands growth cycles, adjusting care, nurturing the soil, and observing subtle signs of development. When the time is right, fruit appears, ripe, abundant, and nourishing. Strategic patience and thought functions in the same way. Effort, energy, and action are applied deliberately, ensuring results manifest fully rather than prematurely. Take Elias, an investor who once made the mistake of acting impulsively on trends. Early successes lulled him into overconfidence, while hurried decisions led to losses. Over time, he learned the value of strategic patience, observing patterns, analyzing data, and waiting for conditions to align before committing. When the timing was right, his investments multiplied, demonstrating that patience combined with discernment and preparation produces wealth far more reliably than impulsive action. Strategic patience relies on three key principles: observation, preparation, and restraint. Observation allows the mind to perceive trends, opportunities, and potential pitfalls before committing energy. Preparation ensures that skills, resources, and systems are ready to capitalize the moment opportunity arrives. Restraint prevents premature action driven by fear, desire, or external pressure, protecting energy from waste and errors. Together, these principles make patience proactive rather than passive. Belief and gratitude amplify patience. Belief sustains confidence that outcomes will manifest, preventing discouragement during periods of delay. Gratitude keeps the mind anchored in present progress, recognizing incremental achievements while awaiting larger results. These mental attitudes transform waiting into a fertile period of preparation and insight rather than a source of frustration or stagnation. Patience is also a shield against impulsive decision-making. The alchemist of thought recognizes that acting too soon often dissipates energy, undermines strategy, and weakens momentum. By cultivating discipline and perspective, the mind avoids unnecessary risks, reduces error, and preserves energy for the moments that matter most. Every delayed action is an investment, every observation a refinement of strategy. Reflection enhances strategic patience. By reviewing past decisions, observing outcomes, and analyzing patterns, the mind develops an intuitive sense of timing. Experience teaches when to act decisively and when to wait, converting uncertainty into informed judgment. This skill, honed over time, distinguishes impulsive effort from calculated action. Strategic patience also interacts with opportunity and innovation. Timing amplifies results. An idea launched too early may fail to gain traction, while the same idea introduced at the right moment can transform industries. Relationships, networks, and influence similarly respond to timing, revealing opportunities only to those prepared to act with alignment and foresight. Ask yourself, are you cultivating the discipline of waiting, observing, and preparing? Do you act impulsively, scattering energy on incomplete conditions, or do you harness patience as a tool to magnify results? Begin to treat time as a medium, aligning energy and effort with the flow of events. Understand that delayed execution often produces more powerful outcomes than immediate action. The alchemist's mastery of strategic patience transforms the timing of thought into leverage. Effort is optimized, energy conserved, and opportunity magnified. Each moment of waiting is not idle. It is active preparation, observation, and alignment, ensuring that when action occurs, it is precise, powerful, and fully capable of producing wealth. In mental alchemy, patience is a weapon and a tool. It converts timing into power, delay into leverage, and preparation into unstoppable momentum. Those who master strategic patience are able to act decisively, harnessing energy, relationships, and opportunity with precision. Through patience, the mind transforms potential into reality, guiding thought to wealth with wisdom, foresight, and enduring impact. Chapter 18. The Ethics of Mental Wealth. Wealth, when forged from thought, carries tremendous power. With that power comes responsibility. In mental alchemy, ethics are not optional. They are the guiding principle that ensures your creation enhances life rather than diminishes it. True alchemy transforms not only your circumstances, but also your character, aligning inner integrity with outward success. Consider wealth as fire. Fire can cook food, forge metal, and warm a home, or to destroy everything in its path. Similarly, thought-generated wealth can create abundance, opportunity, and progress, or it can harm relationships, exploit resources, and undermine trust. The ethical alchemist uses principles as a compass, directing energy toward constructive outcomes that benefit not only self but others. Take Naomi, a tech entrepreneur whose innovations revolutionized her industry. Early in her career, she faced choices that tested her ethics: shortcuts in product quality, misleading marketing, and aggressive competition. Though profitable in the short term, these paths conflicted with her values. She chose integrity, prioritizing transparency, fairness, and responsibility. The result was not slower growth, but sustainable success, loyal clients, trusted partnerships, and a legacy that extended far beyond financial gain. Ethical alignment became her multiplier, amplifying both reputation and results. Ethical mental alchemy operates on several principles: honesty, fairness, empathy, and accountability. Honesty ensures that actions, communications, and intentions align with truth. Fairness guarantees that your wealth creation respects the rights and contributions of others. Empathy allows you to anticipate the impact of decisions, fostering trust and collaboration. Accountability ensures that you accept responsibility for outcomes, learning from errors while reinforcing credibility. Gratitude intersects with ethics, reinforcing integrity. When abundance is acknowledged, the alchemist recognizes the contributions of others and the resources provided by the world. This mindset prevents exploitation and fosters reciprocity, ensuring that wealth creation is not zero-sum, but mutually beneficial. Ethical behavior naturally attracts allies, opportunities, and networks, accelerating results without undermining relationships or values. Reflection is critical for maintaining ethical alignment. Regular evaluation of decisions, intentions, and outcomes ensures that wealth is not achieved at the expense of integrity. Reflection also allows recognition of subtle compromises or unconscious biases, empowering correction before they manifest in harmful outcomes. The alchemist refines not only thought but character, ensuring alignment between inner principles and external action. The influence of ethics extends to relationships, innovation, and opportunity. Trust and credibility, built on ethical foundations, magnify the reach of influence and open doors that shortcuts or exploitation could never unlock. Collaborative ventures flourish. Creativity thrives in supportive environments, and opportunities multiply when aligned with moral clarity. Ethical wealth acts as a magnet, drawing resources, allies, and possibilities naturally toward the alchemist. Ask yourself, are your actions aligned with integrity? Do your strategies enhance life for others while building your own abundance? Are your choices guided by principle rather than convenience, fear, or greed? Begin embedding ethics into every decision, ensuring that the wealth of your mind creates positive, lasting impact. Ethics in mental alchemy transforms the nature of wealth itself. It is not merely accumulation but conscious creation, a deliberate process that harmonizes power, influence, and action with universal principles of fairness and responsibility. Wealth generated ethically is enduring. It is reinforced by trust, relationships, and credibility, producing returns that compound over a lifetime rather than fleeting advantage. Mastery of ethical mental wealth ensures that thought-generated success is sustainable, respected, and meaningful. The alchemist who integrates ethics transforms power into service, action into legacy, and opportunity into enduring impact. Integrity becomes a force multiplier, elevating results beyond raw effort or strategy. Wealth forged through ethical mental alchemy is not only abundant, it is noble, resilient, and capable of inspiring transformation in the world around it. Chapter 19, The Legacy of Thought. Wealth forged in the mind has power beyond immediate results. It carries the potential to shape the future. Mental alchemy is not only about personal achievement, but about leaving a legacy, a lasting imprint of creativity, influence, and insight that extends beyond one lifetime. The alchemist of thought recognizes that every idea, decision, and action contributes to a chain of impact, rippling through time, shaping both the world and those who follow. Consider legacy as a tree. Its roots anchor the present, its trunk provides stability, and its branches extend into the future. Seeds dropped today may take years to sprout, yet they hold the potential to shade, nourish, and inspire generations. Similarly, the wealth of thought, ideas developed, principles applied, relationships nurtured, can create enduring value that multiplies long after immediate rewards have been realized. Take Aiden, an innovator who transformed education through technology. His initial goal was personal success, but over time, he began to see the broader potential of his work. By designing systems that enabled teachers to reach more students, mentoring young innovators, and investing in scalable solutions, he ensured that his impact would extend far beyond personal gain. His legacy was not merely wealth. It was transformation, empowerment, and inspiration. Mental alchemy had converted thought into enduring influence. Legacy begins with intention. The alchemist asks not only, what can I achieve today, but also, what impact will this have tomorrow, next year, or for generations to come? Every decision, action, and creation is viewed through the lens of long-term effect, ensuring that efforts contribute to enduring value rather than fleeting gain. Reflection enhances legacy. By reviewing actions, assessing outcomes, and considering long-term consequences, the alchemist ensures alignment with enduring principles and values. Reflection turns experience into wisdom, short-term achievements into sustainable systems, and fleeting successes into milestones in a trajectory of lasting impact. Relationships play a critical role in legacy. The people you mentor, inspire, and collaborate with carry forward your influence, amplifying results far beyond what you could achieve alone. Ethical behavior, trust, and authentic engagement ensure that your legacy is preserved and respected, creating a network of minds that continue to grow, innovate, and contribute. The flow of innovation reinforces legacy. Ideas, when nurtured and shared, become tools for others to build upon. A single innovation can evolve into movements, institutions, and cultural shifts. By integrating creativity with disciplined thought, strategic patience, and ethical consideration, the alchemist ensures that the seeds planted today blossom into systems, inventions, and philosophies that endure. Gratitude amplifies legacy. Recognizing the contributions of others and honoring the collective effort ensures that wealth, influence, and success are shared, embedded within networks, and passed on with intention. Gratitude transforms personal achievement into communal enrichment, reinforcing the chain of positive impact. Ask yourself, what do you want to leave behind? How will your thoughts, actions, and creations shape the lives of others long after your immediate work is done? Begin acting with legacy in mind, making decisions that align with enduring principles, creating systems at scale, and mentoring minds that will continue the work you started. The legacy of thought transforms wealth from temporal to eternal. Mental alchemy ensures that the energy, creativity, and discipline applied today reverberate into the future, multiplying results and extending influence. Each idea becomes a seed, each action a building block, and each relationship a conduit for enduring impact. Mastery of legacy is mastery of time, influence, and thought. The alchemist who integrates vision, focus, ethics, innovation, and strategic patience leaves not only tangible wealth, but also a blueprint for others to follow, amplifying the reach of mental alchemy across generations. Legacy is the ultimate expression of wealth created through disciplined, ethical, and intentional thought, a beacon that transforms lives, systems, and the trajectory of the world itself. Chapter 20. The Eternal Forge. The journey of mental alchemy is not one with a fixed ending. It is an eternal forge, a workshop of the mind where thoughts are shaped, refined, and transformed into wealth, not only in material form, but in wisdom, influence, and legacy. To reach this point is to understand that mental alchemy is less about possession and more about becoming. It is about evolving into someone capable of creating abundance anywhere, at any time, under any conditions. The forge never sleeps. Each day presents new sparks of thought, raw materials waiting to be smelted into opportunity. Ideas may come as whispers, fleeting impressions, or sudden bursts of clarity. Discipline and focus transform those fragments into structures. Ethics and gratitude infuse them with purpose. Patience tempers them into resilience. Reflection polishes them into brilliance. And from a forge emerges not just wealth, but character, the refined self, sharpened and strengthened by the very act of creation. Imagine a blacksmith in a timeless workshop, hammering steel into form. The work is repetitive, yet each strike carries meaning. The rhythm of hammer against metal mirrors the rhythm of thought against intention. With persistence, the molten chaos of raw material becomes the sharp edge of a blade or the elegant curve of a chalice. The alchemist's forge functions the same way. Through consistent, intentional practice, the raw sparks of thought become enduring wealth, ready to serve a purpose far greater than the self. Consider Clara, a leader who faced economic collapse in her community. Where others saw loss, she saw potential. She gathered her people, inspired them with vision, and together they rebuilt industries, designed new enterprises, and forged a culture of resilience. Years later, even after she passed away, her principles lived on in the minds of those she taught. The forge of her mind had sparked countless others to build, grow, and create. Her life was proof that the eternal forge of mental alchemy extends beyond one person, one lifetime, one generation. To embrace the eternal forge, one must see wealth as energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change form. Likewise, thought wealth never vanishes. It transforms. An idea shared becomes inspiration. A principle lived becomes tradition. A system built becomes foundation. Wealth continues to ripple through time, adapting, evolving, and multiplying in ways the original alchemist may never fully witness. Reflection at this stage becomes celebration. Looking back, you see not just the wealth accumulated, but the person you became in the process. You see resilience where there was once fear, clarity where there was once doubt, abundance where there was once limitation. The forge has shaped not only your life, but the lives of all who encountered your thoughts, your actions, and your presence. The eternal forge also invites humility. You recognize that wealth is not an endpoint, but a current in the river of life. You are not the owner of this energy, only its steward, shaping it in your time before passing it on. This humility is liberating. It removes the fear of loss and replaces it with the joy of contribution. Each thought you refine is a gift to the future, each action an offering, each creation a spark for others to carry forward. So ask yourself, will you keep forging? Will you continue to sharpen your focus, discipline your thoughts, and align your actions with vision? Will you pass the hammer to others, teaching them not only how to create wealth, but how to become creators themselves? This is the ultimate truth of mental alchemy. Wealth is infinite because thought is infinite. The forge of the mind is eternal, and every person who chooses to enter it, who dares to believe that thought can shape reality, adds to the chorus of creation that drives humanity forward. The eternal forge waits for you. Its fire is ready. Its hammer is in your hand. The question is no longer whether you can create wealth from thought, but what kind of wealth you will forge and how brightly it will burn across the ages. Your mind is the ultimate forge. The fire of thought is ready. Are you ready to shape it into wealth, wisdom, and lasting impact? Begin today. Take one principle from this audiobook, put it into action, and watch as your life transforms. Your journey of mental alchemy starts now. Ignite it and never stop forging.